So this is Quentin Robbins, professional snowboarder. He's the newest guy on tour. We brought him out to try the roller snowboard. It's actually never been done. It's the one thing that we brought out that no one ever wanted to do. I don't know if the first person on the first day should be something that's never been done.
I think that's exactly what should be done.
Oh.
Bad as that went well. He may have broken ankle and definitely tweaked something.
He almost landed on the pyrotechnics. Look, he landed right between the two bombs.
Broken little finger.
Yeah, that might be a little dislocated.
And I think that ankle's broke.
Oh, that was scary!
Oh my God!
That was a hell of a ride!
The Nitro Circus live show actually came around a lot in the same way that Nitro Circus, the TV show, came around. You had the Crustiums of Dirt in the live show, and you had Jackass on TV, and they both had an image that really, if you're trying to get younger followers and you're trying to get parents and families to go see a show, and there's just people doing Jackass-like stuff, or Crustiums of Dirt-like stuff, they saw Nitro Circus as us doing much even crazier stuff than these guys were doing, and we were getting way more hurt, but trying to do stuff that had never been done. And I think everyone kind of latched on to say, wait, these guys are getting as big or bigger of a following, and they're doing everything in a very clean-cut manner, a very family-friendly manner, and I think that's what really had a lot of appeal.
Krusty was a pretty wild ride. Got to the point where they were trying to book hotel rooms and they couldn't book them under Krusty Demons anymore, so they'd have to book them under Rush Sports, and then next thing they made up some other name, and yeah, I didn't do a thing, but you know, a few people got into trouble doing some silly things. A couple of rental cars didn't make it back in one piece.
It's alive!
2009, yeah, was the last year of Krusty, and I mean, I wouldn't say it was played out, but it was the perfect time for something new and something fresh, and that's when the promoter decided to move on and do Nitro Circus Live. Hi.
Sergeant Bilko, what do you got for us today, Mr. World Champion Pit Bike Dude?
I knew Travis and I'd met him all a few times, but never really hung out with him. And you know, Travis, he's the golden boy. Like, I'm like, is these guys going to be a bunch of nerds to hang out with or a bunch of geeks? The very first night, this is the week before, I was been on the Gold Coast and I did some media that morning, and I'd been partying the night before, and I'm just like, I'm not driving to Brisbane for this meeting. So I sent Paura a voicemail, the promoter, and just said, look, it's going to be the same crap, it's going to be the same You're going to say, hey, I'm Mike Paura, this is what's going to happen, we've got to knuckle down and rehearse, la-di-da-di-da, I'm the boss, the show's going to be great if you do what I say, if not, you're fired. And so at the big dinner they had for everybody, he played that out loud, and I called Minnie and said, you know, well, how's this intro dinner, have I missed anything? And Minnie just turns around and he goes, these guys are crazy. Each one of them are running along and belly sliding across the middle of the table and knocking off everywhere and stuff. I was like, oh really? Oh, that sounds like they're a bit of fun then.
Making you comfortable.
Make it again.
What?
Welcome to Nitro Circus Live!
The very first Nitro Circus show in Brisbane was just such a mystery to everyone, I think. To get to help build something from the ground up, and then it gets that moment where it's finally time to do it, and you realize that none of you actually know exactly what you're doing. I think the first show probably, we went so long and it was a giant chaotic mess, but it was like the most fun I think I'd ever had in my life at that point. So that was a pretty special moment.
This crowd is out of their minds.
I remember hearing that Nitro Circus was going to tour Australia and do a live show, and initially I thought like, oh man, that's amazing. I bet that I would be able to ask Chad Kagi to get me tickets. one morning my phone just rang and I answer. It was like, if you want to come and do the tour, we would love to get you on a flight and just have you fly in and do some testing. And I'm like, what?
Going from, you know, watching Nitro Circus on TV and watching all the stunts that they were doing, and then when they reached out to me and wanted to bring me on tour, it was definitely one of the craziest concepts that I had ever heard of. Whose idea was it to bring all these massive stunts and do them in an arena? Like, it's a great idea. Why not? What could even go wrong?
We learned a lot about entertainment over those first couple shows, and really the biggest problem was ourselves. We wanted to do the biggest, gnarliest, craziest stuff every single night, and we were so injured. By round 5, all of us were running with, I had a broken collarbone, literally. It was moving in and out, and you know, Chad Kegi had a broken wrist, and almost everyone had sprained ankles or broken ankles. We honed it in a little bit. We figured out, you know, who was going to send it each night and kind of a flow of how things had to work. And from there, we really developed what we have now, which is just a great, entertaining show where we still get to push ourselves, but not kill ourselves every night. My favorite Nitro Circus show has to be Las Vegas 2011. Everybody sent it. Our friends and family finally got to see that it wasn't just a circus. Like, this was the best of the best from all over the world. And it went a little long, probably like 2 hours over, because we were all sending everything. Honestly, I decided to propose to my wife that morning.
Hey guys, I hate to interrupt this show, but I got all my friends, all my family, and I got Tom P with the love of my life down the bottom of this ramp. That was supposed to be smoother, but Tom P, Lindsay Adams Hopkins, will you marry me?
She said yes, which was good. I thought for sure she was just gonna say no as a joke, and that would have been pretty humiliating, but yeah, it all worked out.
I was supposed to come later in the show, but I was too nervous. This was a stunt that's gonna last the rest of my life, so Lindsay, I love you. All right, back to you guys up top.
Still married, show's still going, but that was a hell of a night.
I think selling out Madison Square Garden is a pretty lifetime achievement moment for all of us. One of the most prestigious venues you could be in. The crowd was electric. And to sell it out and to have that reaction, and when everyone's on top of you like that, when you're just down in this pit, it's like you're in the gladiator arena kind of thing, and it's just like the most thunderous noise ever. That's a pretty cool moment.
Good evening, Hamilton!
We were in Hamilton, New Zealand. We had filled the football stadium, and we were just like, this is the most insane amount of people.
Everyone always asks if you're ready. How can you be ready for this? 25,000 people have paid good money to watch a pack of idiots try and hurt themselves. I can never be ready for that.
I had in my head that if I could do a front flip no-hander and I can do a double front flip, I should be able to do a double front flip no-hander. Jay Tui had also called out that he wanted to do the first ever backflip triple tail whip. All the attention is just on us. This crazy feeling, and I dropped first. Hadn't tried it, hadn't tested it, hadn't anything, I just did it. The crowd just went berserk. And you look up and Jay's just rolling in, and right behind me, he lands the first flip triple tail whip. Jay and I grew up together. We grew up riding the same skate park. We both went to Woodward. We grew up competing against each other. And now we just both landed world first within moments of each other that you get goosebumps thinking about. It doesn't get any better than that.
What the hell is going on?
I would have to say when we were in Sydney, Australia, when I landed my first backflip on tour. The feeling of stage fright times like 100, like I just remember being super scared because, you know, I was still terrified of the ramp at that point, and I don't think I had ever landed any of those jumps. And so to go from that to performing in front of thousands of people was definitely out of my comfort zone. It was really just like the coolest feeling to go from being absolutely terrified to landing it and rolling down, you know, and you get down to the airbag and the whole crew is there and Trav's there just like cheering you on, and it's really just like electrifying, you know, and those are really the moments that stand out to me and that are sick.
That's what a life moment looks like.
I think the thing that sets Nitro Circus Live apart from general entertainment acts across the board is every single night, even we don't know what's going to happen. We have the freedom that makes every show unpredictable. And I think that's what people really get excited about, because to a certain degree, we're kind of just flying by the seat of our pants. There's tons of nights where someone's just like, that's the moment they're feeling it. And like, maybe it's something they dreamed of forever and the crowd's right and the conditions are right and they're feeling good. And that's the moment they're gonna do the best thing they've ever done that night. And no one's ever seen it before.
Nitro Circus is so unique because it's the best of the best. It is the top action sports athletes in the world doing stuff that's never been done. And to be around such an infectious group of passionate individuals is something that I don't believe any other show anywhere in the world has anything like. "13 years later, a lot's changed, but a lot's remained the same. The tour is still strong because generation after generation, group after group that loves to push the envelope, that loves to see what is humanly, physically possible. And I've gotten to meet so many of my best friends, so many family, all touring the world doing what we love to do. 13 years is a long time, but I think it's only just the beginning.